right, let's kick it into high gear. Good morning. It is believe it or not, the unofficial beginning of summer.
Yep.
Is today, Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
It's a holiday weekend for you and me, and hopefully for everybody. Today on the show, first of all, my name is Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
Today on the show, a tortoise and my neighbor walk into a bar. Sounds like a joke setup, but it's not really. We're going to explain why we're going to get a visit from a tortoise today in the studio. Mike?
Yeah. It's the 85th birthday of the great Bob Dylan. We're going to have a special celebration at the end of the show.
Ah, that's great. And
we have just a little bit of hope for your weekend.
And boy,
do we need it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff how was your week? You guys have a good week? It seems like you just flew. You were like,
I was all over. Went from Pride to Manhattan.
Like in the same day?
Pretty much. And then I got back last night, so I'm all
That's wild. That's so
disheveled. And I got to say, because I hear about the I've been all up and down Manhattan because I've been there twice now in the last few months. And I feel safer walking around down the street there than I do here.
Isn't that funny? I felt the same way last time I was there.
Because I know the unhomed population is such an issue here, and I had heard it was in other places, and I assumed that New York would be one of those places as well, and it was not. Now, of course, I haven't been all over the state or this or that, but I have been all over Manhattan, up and down, side to side, and it is not like it is here.
Well, the Bronx is up and the Battery's down.
Right.
It's kind of like there's more people on the street. I felt safer when there's other people to witness a crime.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That happen. But I know what you feel like. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, I thought since the commie got in charge, things would get worse.
Oh, yeah. And I got to tell you.
Everything they said.
That full beard is a thing in New York.
No kidding.
That Mamdani beard is everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's on lots of ads.
Yeah.
Not just him, but you can tell we're kind of jumping on board of this movement. But
I was telling somebody this past week that the bro look, the black baseball cap turned backwards, the beard, the jeans, and the little roll up on the jeans, right? And thinking to myself, we started that. Gay people started that.
Oh, but I thought you meant Californians.
And everybody has that look now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking it's because guys don't really know how to dress, maybe?
Yes.
I think I'd be good to help somebody get a style thing, but first I have to develop my own.
What not to wear.
Yeah, that's true. But this week started out with the Pride Festival. Boy, we showed up.
Oh, we had so much fun.
Awesome. It was great. First time ever. KLBQ was represented. If you saw us, a lot of people screamed out, Long Beach Public Radio.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, we're growing.
And a lot of people didn't know we were here, which is kind of nice. They do know now. At least 10,000 of them at least know now. So that's pretty cool. But there's all that stuff around the Pride Parade. We looked into it to find out what happened with the festival.
Yeah.
Right?
And what happened?
What happened with the festival?
I was, you know me, I'm rifling around through all kinds of people, trying to find anything I can. And what we found out was, first of all, the ticket sales were 100 tickets were sold, or approximately 100 tickets.
Oops.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, the week before. I was right about the setup. It was delayed because they were waiting for permits. So when they didn't set up on Monday, I thought something was up, and apparently it was.
Yeah.
And then they raised only $100,000 of the necessary $500,000 to put on that event. $500,000 for that event. And there were no corporate sponsorships, which is the place you start.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
that's where you begin.
Start that.
Yeah.
So, of course, everybody's calling. I don't know why people think that maybe because I lead this organization that I would be good leading that one.
Well, when I saw that this had failed, I thought, you know who knows how to fill out paperwork
Right.
and get permits
and get sponsors.
and get sponsors better than anybody else?
Yeah.
You.
Our own Danny Lemos.
It's true. And I said, first of all, I don't want that size of a headache unless it comes with an enormous salary. And I would want 1/5 of the projected budget. However, we were walking around last night thinking about what would make a good sponsor for it. And I look over to the right, and there's the Queen Mary. And I think, for heaven's sakes, the cruise line people come here every week, right? More than once a week. And who has more discretionary funds to spend than gay people?
Right.
Why was it would be sponsored by Carnival? And then my thing would be, come to the festival, and we're going to give away a cruise for 2 every hour on the hour.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
See?
That would get you
See?
there.
That's what we're
See,
saying.
What's what we need, and because they need the car people to sign in, and Hyundai always contributes, and and Long
Right.
Beach Transit. Why didn't they get those people to contribute? So they got work to do. I know.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just disappointing considering how long the organization has been here.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
and rooted
Well,
in Long Beach.
And there's you hear all the street gossip about how it's infighting, and then so and so's ego
Boards
is
are
bigger.
hard.
It is
Boards,
we know
dude.
it.
Let's talk about it.
We'll trade
Boards are hard.
Let's do that, and then we'll give them this.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what happened. But the good news is that the parade went on, of course, because the city guaranteed it. Apparently, the city also gave them 2 additional venues to perform. 1 was used, and 2 were rejected.
You mean for the festival? Or
Yeah,
for-
and they said, we'll reach out. We'll give you $50,000 so you can put on a nice little something at the Long Beach Terrace Theater or down at the
Oh.
band shell. They rejected it. They
What?
said, no, thank you. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go,
Right there, you
then.
get a sense of
Exactly.
what's going on. Something needs to change. And
Right,
apparently
because
it will.
I thought because it was so strange to not find out until the day before.
Right.
That's what got me, as you would think with permits and stuff. There would have been a week
tried.
before,
Apparently they
So at that
tried.
point, and you're going to turn down a venue with all those people in
You could
town
have at least
ready to
done
party?
something.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But at least the city remained focused on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
They always will be.
I noticed that all of the restaurants that were going to have special things, all of the private
Yeah.
businesses that were going to have special things, none of that changed.
Yeah, none
In
of it.
fact, maybe it enhanced it.
People stepped up.
Yeah, they were able to go to restaurants downtown, restaurants all over the city, instead of the festival itself. And I think that's as good as
cool.
it gets anyway.
Yeah. And maybe it'll change what we do in the future, but everyone seemed to be having a good time during the parade.
Oh, and the parade, I always come out of the parade feeling really
too.
good. Like,
too.
I love my little community. And,
Yeah.
and KLBP was right in front of the vulvas. Remember
The dancing vulvas.
The dancing vulvas. That
what I call them.
that was a good time.
That was great. And right behind the Silver Fox. And I got to say, their graphic artist used to work on their banner because the S was so slim that it looked like an L. So it read the Liver Fox.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Be careful with that. But another end, we may be seeing the end of the Pride Festival in such a way that it's been in the past. However, a change in late night television happened this week too. Stephen Colbert left the Late Show.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
they left him.
Yeah. They left him, and
That's how I feel.
he went out on a good note. You know, he really,
I agree.
the staff and
Classy.
and handled it beautifully. And it's interesting that his last show was Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, CBS Radio News shut off
Yeah, well,
after 100 years in business.
yeah, that's so sad.
So CBS, which was known as the Tiffany Network, because it really was,
It really was.
the best in news, the best in everything, is now a shadow of its former self.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Larry Ellison, and all the other folks
Yeah.
who got involved and made this a mess. But, we'll see how it evolves. Television, nobody ever promised it would last forever.
Right.
But maybe we are seeing the end of the late night TV show era when you think about how people watch television.
Yeah, late night TV is not in a good place, no matter the politics at either,
Mm-hmm.
because people can watch the clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
They probably get more hits on YouTube than people
You're
actually
absolutely
watching
right.
the
Yeah.
show.
Right.
So there's going to be some changes made in how those sort of things are
I
done.
can't. When I was in New York and we're just watching TV in the hotel room, I can't stomach commercials anymore. I'm so used
Isn't
to
that funny?
streaming,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
pay so it's like, why am I watching this? Because you might as well watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, well, if you're like me and have an active bladder, you love those commercials.
Right.
But, it's something else, too, to think that it is the whole landscape is changing. We need some young talent to come up with something that people really want to watch at late that night, right?
Right.
And, for me, if I was programming late night television, I'd bring back This Is Your Life. only we would send cameras to a home in anywhere in America, and not tell them in advance. That would be really great.
That won't be problematic at all.
Debbie and John are sleeping. Let's see what goes on when we ring the doorbell. What will they come to the door
That's
wearing?
reality TV.
To me, I'd watch that.
Right.
I'd watch that. Because what people watch at late night is they're watching what they care about. So that would be something. And the past week, we had the president telling him, making a deal
with himself,
so to speak,
Yeah.
and granting himself immunity or requesting it and getting it. That's the weird part. From any future prosecution, nothing's wrong about that.
No, nothing at all.
God, I mean, it's so apparent, the grift in this administration.
Today, I was so upset over it just because I was traveling, so I'm reading my phone all the time and the slush fund news and this and that and this and that. It was really depressing.
It is depressing.
It was really depressing.
And what I want to say is, listen, Mr. President, if you're declaring yourself above the law, then that applies to the rest of us too, as far as I'm concerned.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I want to make it so in a fantasy land.
Right.
Asking the question, what would you want immunity from if you could grant it for yourself? Right? Because apparently you can in this country.
Yeah.
What would you want immunity from? I'd want immunity from parking offenses. I can park anywhere I feel like it.
Oh, okay.
And leave my car wherever I feel like it. That'd be one thing. Come on.
That's a good
And I'm
one.
only asking for a little thing. And
Right.
Not against
People already leave their cars wherever they want.
or would you want to get immunity from future prosecution of any murder you might commit?
There's a stretch here, but I'm afraid to say it on the air.
Yeah, exactly. And we know where you're going.
What I would want immunity from. Or for
true.
not me myself, but somebody to have immunity.
Any thoughts about what you would grant yourself immunity from?
I don't know.
What personal problems bother you?
The parking thing is a good thing. Although,
we got to say something about that.
yeah, but I do have a handicap sticker because I have had various surgeries.
Yeah.
So I almost have that now.
Parking
you have
immunity.
parking immunity.
Yeah, I can pretty much park wherever I want.
Well, last week we talked about backing up, right? And how I didn't like it, and you gave me a reason that I can now stomach that, okay, maybe they're having a problem. They're using the lines in the rearview mirror. So I tried it just before the show over here in the Long Beach parking lot, backed into my first parking space ever, and really got to say I wasn't really good at it.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't your camera have lines and everything that you can line
I don't
up?
practice. You apparently practice. For me, it was like
like a
my car's a
video
little crooked. When I walked out, I went, "Oh, they're going to think I'm."
Well,
some
let me
old
tell
lady.
you, where it really pays
love
off
it.
is these spots that are very, very small. They
guess.
just barely
Yeah.
the size of the car.
Yeah.
So you can really nail it
Yeah.
that way.
But telling you what, that sort of leads the way for something coming up in the next segment, which is going to be a change of heart, because it gave me a change of heart to know that there's a reason some people might back up, and I was a little easier on the person doing it
boy.
this morning. But we'll get to that in a minute because we got music coming up right now, and this is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is Michael Stipes and Andrew Watt. And I'm told it's the main title theme from Rooster, whatever the hell that is.
know,
I was going to say.
I started watching that. I gotta say, it's
Oh.
not that good.
It's not that good?
I don't think so.
It's a show?
It's Steve Carell is a professor at a university going back to college.
Oh, I like him. But
Yeah, I do, but it's like I'm expecting funny, and it's not that funny. So
Yeah, well, we got a song from it.
we got a song.
I Played the Fool.
it's mornings on the beach for your holiday weekend, and we're hoping you're out of bed early, and we want to make it pay off for you. So coming up on the show, we've got some great stuff. So we call it the Hope segment.
Yeah.
I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
Right there. And the first story that I caught my attention early in the week was about a celebrity who underwent a cancer treatment and what he had to say about it. It was actor, remember Jurassic Park, Sam Neill?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he apparently put the treatment in the spotlight. He revealed that he had stage 3 cancer and it was in remission after going through what he called CAR, C-A-R, T-cell therapy as part of a clinical trial in Sydney. And what the Guardian's reporting on is that this is hopeful because if you know anything about your body, right, the T cells are the helper cells that go after the things that shouldn't be in your system and they kill them off. And AIDS patients, they're reduced so they can't fight infection. All right, so they found a way to target the T cells in your body, so to target like a tumor and kill it.
Oh, on a
And
cellular
that's,
level.
oh yeah, and that's promising news
that
for
is.
anybody who's out
Absolutely.
there. Yeah, let me get the official title of it. Is chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy, and it was pioneered in the 1990s. But they're finally getting, well, they obviously used it on a human. Actor is Sam Neill, and he said the success of those therapies is increasing enthusiasm among researchers and clinicians that CAR T cell therapy will soon become a major weapon in the battle against cancer. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be something if you could survive cancer.
Yeah, and if you can afford this.
Yeah. First, if you can survive the Trump presidency, but then cancer.
Right.
Yeah. Kind of the same.
Yeah.
That's true. Finally, some hopeful news. But he, in the press conference that I saw online, he didn't say that this was a miracle cure because he couldn't.
Sure.
Because there's markers you have to meet to call something cured. And so, but if you were to talk to him personally, he'd probably say, "Yeah, this is I'm in
Sure.
remission.
Yeah.
Cancer's gone. They couldn't find the tumor." And that's awesome.
Oh, it is awesome. And I was thinking the other day, I've lost so many friends to cancer,
Yeah,
as
tell
we
me.
all have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot worse along, 20, 30 years ago
Yeah.
when they didn't have any sort
Yeah.
of a way to fight it. There are things that will knock it out of your body, and these sort
Yeah.
of new things add to that toolbox.
I give you something other than chemotherapy. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
I have a couple friends that survived stage 4 breast cancer. And I think with technology, one of the big deals is that they can actually treat your specific cancer instead of where they would just radiate
Right,
Yeah.
whatever's
like a
there.
whole big
Yeah.
area. Yeah,
Knock out your hair.
big deal.
But I'm interested in what your friends. Is there any other thing you know about your friends that help them beat
Oh, she'd love
cancer?
to come talk about it.
Please, because
Yeah,
I-
because she just got and struggled with it for decades, and then they have, I forget what you call it, where they can put medicine in, like where they leave something in your body and they can put medicine in it.
Right.
After so long in
port?
remission, the port, yeah, and after so long in remission, they pulled it out.
Wow.
And it was
Wow.
a huge deal to say, like, we're confident
Yeah.
we're not going back in
I'm
there.
Excellent.
very interested in always listening to people about how they heal themselves.
Oh yeah, she wrote a book. Oh, I'll bring her in.
Please bring her
Oh,
in.
her husband's going to be on the show next week.
Oh, no kidding.
Linda DeWitt. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I'll invite her.
She, I remember when my sister called and she was in the hospital and they diagnosed and it was breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, I raced over to the hospital. And I remember flinging the door open and the first words out of her mouth made all the difference to me. This isn't going to get me. You can calm down.
Right.
And it was her resilience, I think, that
Right.
starts it. And I have a lot of theories about that, but I can't wait for her to come in and we'll talk about them all.
Yeah.
This is really great. But another story this week that really got my hopes up. I'm looking for things that I can share with you here on the air that might help you, inspire you, or make you feel better. And this one's kind of interesting. It's about an influencer online who had a Damascus moment. If you are Catholic and remember St. Paul getting knocked off his horse in Damascus.
I don't.
And suddenly he found God. He was a horrible, horrible person. And suddenly was hit by a bolt of lightning. That's what the Bible says. And then he fell off his horse and suddenly he was a convert. He was all about Jesus at that point. So this is kind of the same thing. And it was about a guy online. Hang on, I'm going to get his Jude Cloud is his name. That's his real name.
Dude Cloud?
Jude.
Oh,
Jude Cloud.
I kind of like Dude Cloud.
Here's his story. So he's in high school, right? And in order to be, he's in Texas. So in order to be in high school, you got to be cool, right?
Yeah.
And if you are somebody who espouses anything that isn't the party line, we're talking the Republican party line, we're talking about Texas,
Right.
then you're not cool. So what does he do? He adopts this line of thinking and all that goes with it, right? All the
Right.
platforms, everything he adopts, he grows up in it. He's a football player. He's not thinking about politics. He's
the
just
guy,
life
yeah.
and he wants to survive with his buddies.
Sure.
So he graduates. He meets a young lady who he falls in love with. And he thinks, he's steeped in the right side and all their politics. So he wants to impress his girlfriend. So he invites her over. And he says, here's, all these things that I think about that are important in life. And he notices the look on her face is changing as he speaks. It's getting worse and worse. And he says, what's up with you? And she says, you're talking like somebody who's a really bad person. do you think about where you got these ideas from? And they're not really good ideas to help anybody.
Wow.
She goes, because it's all about you got to work if you can't have welfare and because you got all that crap.
The party line.
And then he realizes in that moment, he says, something clicked in my mind. And all I wanted to do was be a good person for this woman. I wanted her to like me and I wanted to be good for her. She made me feel like I was really not thinking about what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And so he got online and he put it on video and TikTok. And minutes later, millions of people had seen it, where he has a conversion. He's talking about it. And it may have taken the promise of future poontang to get him to convert.
Super powerful.
Yay.
Super powerful.
Yay. But it got him to think. So whatever you need to examine yourself. And that
whether
was the
it's
point.
lightning or
right? Or future poontang. What it was for him was he said, I had never thought about where I get my ideas from.
Right.
So rather, if you're on the left or the right, somewhere you're getting your ideas from somebody, have you ever looked into how you feel? And what does it mean as the kind of person you are?
Well, and it's interesting, too, because part of that was him hanging out with someone who was outside of his norm.
Bingo.
This woman. So if he picked a woman from his own culture, she would just amplify that.
Yeah.
Right. But he found someone to, people do not think about their own thinking. You have got to reflect on your feelings and your thoughts. And
he said he was glad that he chose a woman who he thought was a good person. And then he said, and this is great in his post at the end, he says, so guys, guess what? Learning how to feel for somebody else, be empathetic, is actually macho.
Yes.
You're taking care of people. It's what men do with their families. They take care. So why can't you see that if you want to take care of somebody and help them along in life, you're being a good man. You're being a macho. You're being the kind of guy you should be. And I love that story.
And I love that he's out there saying it, because that will have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said he was in search of poontang. The first thing I thought of was he was in search of real love.
Actually, you're probably more right than I was about that.
There's right-wing poontang.
He's a good-looking kid. Great. And he grew up in Texas. He's part Mexican, and just the thing about his catharsis, his change of heart. It's possible, people. It is. You don't have to be stuck in that.
It's possible.
All you need is love.
Well, and the thing, too, is that when you're acting with venom, it makes you sick also.
Inside.
It makes you sick inside. So when you have no empathy and you're acting out of that rage, it's counter to your humanity. It's counter to the one thing that we all share.
Right.
And it makes you sick inside. Yeah. And it shares that.
I mean, the only rule that really we were given, right, by all our faiths, and it's in every faith, is treat your neighbor like yourself, period.
Absolutely.
So you get to the end of your life, and you were one of those people that just hated everybody, kept them away from you. You're going to have that moment. Did I do what I was supposed to?
I hope they have that moment.
And I hope it's a long, stretched out moment.
Me too.
The worse you were in life, the longer that moment takes.
Yeah, the suffering that people are creating right now is incomprehensible.
And it's true. It has nothing to do with what we are here to do. We came as light. We'll go back to light. That's what I believe, right? We came. We're all part of the same light. And then we find out, oops, that final moment of our life, oops. But I remember that I asked my brother before he passed away if you could send back one message. 3 nights after he passed away, I had a dream in which he handed me a piece of paper. And I remember getting up in the morning and writing, not even in the morning, right away, writing down what he had put on that paper. There are legions of light here.
Wow.
Isn't that? It's on my dresser framed.
Legions of light.
There are legions of light.
That's gorgeous.
Here. Right? Because meaning, send me something back from the other side. And if that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not fearing that moment. No, it's light. We're all light. We're all part of that. And
right.
then we find out, we go back to it. It doesn't matter what you were in this world.
Well, and I've never been religious, and I've tried. I shopped churches at different points in my life. It just never took for me.
Yeah.
But I've always been confident that I live in a way where I wouldn't be punished. I live my life day to day in a way that I'm not ashamed of, so I'm not afraid of that kind of punishment, because it doesn't matter to me. The religious tie doesn't matter. It's, are you a decent person or not? And people are trying to separate that kind of humanity.
I think that whatever it is up there laughs at us when we try to make it
Oh
political.
gosh.
It just isn't like that.
Yeah.
The world's a different place, and just be a good person.
Just be a good
do something
person.
nice for somebody. Just one thing, one
takes
little
so
thing,
little.
and you open up that world to yourself.
Yeah.
So there we are. Once again, it's like our Sunday morning soapbox.
There's our hope. There's our hope
That's
segment.
our hope segment. So let's go on to music now, if we can.
All right, brand new music from Grace Potter. I don't know if you know anything about Grace, but she's a beautiful woman to start with, but she's also quite a rocker, and she's been around a long time, sort of bubbles under being a mainstream artist, but great artist, and a song called Love Me Not. All right, Grace Potter and Love Me Not.
I love that song. On
Yeah.
first
Stuff.
listen.
Yeah.
I love it. When Mike puts stuff for our show, it sends it over to me. It gives me a first listen, and I'm like, wow, I love it. So
Yeah.
that song is really wonderful.
LBP on your dial. Keep it here and stay a while. The sound of Long Beach, oh so sweet. KLBP can't be beat.
Welcome to Mornings on the Beach, your Saturday, Sunday infotainment for this holiday Memorial Day weekend. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And we have a Mornings on the Beach first that's occurring right now. The first time ever we welcome into our studio a tortoise. Well, that's not the woman on the line we're going to speak to. That's Maria. Maria Castilleja is my neighbor. And Shelly is the tortoise that we're talking about. And we are talking to her about Shelly because Shelly is a finalist in the Long Beach's Favorite Pet contest.
Wow.
Boomer didn't get to the finals. So, but thank
Nah.
goodness there's one in the complex, so one finalist, because we're supporting. We turned all of our resources over to Shelly, and so welcome to the show, Maria.
Thank you, Danny. I'm very excited about being in the show and also supporting the Long Beach Animal Care Services, and Shelly is very appreciative of the radio station support. She's
Oh,
just loving it.
If you saw the pictures that are on our website, you'll see a picture of Shelly out
Yes.
there in her cart, right? It's drumming up
Yeah.
votes, because you got to vote for the pets that are online at Long Beach's Favorite Pet. Partnersofparks.org is where you go to find this, and click on the menu. You'll see the Long Beach's Favorite
Well, and
Pet
Shelly was
contest.
at Pride, right?
She sure was.
Yeah, I met her. I found her very humble.
There's a picture of you and her together.
Yeah, I know. No,
It's really
we
good.
bonded, man.
So, first of all, turtle versus tortoise. How do you know which is one? For those of us uneducated in the whole matter.
I actually know. But
And I answered that question so many times at the Pride Parade.
Really?
Tortoise is a dirt tortoise.
Yeah.
It's a desert animal. They just like to get a little bit in the water with their claws in the water, but that's it. A turtle is actually an animal that goes into the water that needs to have like a tank or needs to be in the ocean.
Yeah.
So growing up, my mom and dad had like 2 tortoises at home, and I've always been connected to tortoises. And then I had the opportunity to get this one when Shelly, when she was just a baby. She was just like 4 weeks old, little tiny thing. And now she weighs like 25 pounds.
Wow.
Big
And
girl.
she's going to keep on growing.
Yeah.
So,
She's going to
yeah.
also outlive you, right? She's going to live longer than
that
all
was
of
the
them.
thing I was
Yeah.
thinking. That's, a tortoise is the one animal that will outlive
Yeah, right.
you.
Absolutely. And my grandson, Oliver, he's ready to keep me.
good. You have to inherit the tortoise.
Yeah, no pressure, right? I tell them you need to have a house with a large backyard. So,
That's great. Oh, that's great. Does Shelly have any pet siblings? I know the answer.
yes, she has a doggy. His
has a
name
dog.
is Chewy. Maybe next year we'll get Chewy in the contest. But really thank you for you bringing to my attention this
Yeah.
fundraiser, right? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And because we are not competitive at all,
Yeah, right.
We showed up to the Pride Parade. We've been posting in Facebook, in Instagram, personal calls. And,
She's not kidding.
and I cannot see how much money people are giving us. So I have to, I think they don't have the personnel to be able to keep track.
Yeah.
So I have to keep on pushing because, we just would love
job.
for
Yeah.
Shelly to win.
We do. And the moment we heard about the other category, that's when I reached out to Maria and said, you got to enter Shelly because nobody will be a tortoise. They won't beat her.
And absolutely, the other that represents what Long Beach we are about.
Right.
We are,
Right.
people from everywhere,
Diversity.
different cultures, different backgrounds. And here comes a sucata tortoise, a big one. And she
Awesome.
loves Long Beach. And she, during the Pride Parade, she let people pet her. She let people see her walking. They had all kind of questions. The dog sniffered all over. So,
Dude, it's amazing.
yeah.
And she's not that afraid anymore of people around her, right? She's getting really used to it. Her head doesn't
Yeah.
retract as
So
much.
I wasn't there, so I didn't see what was going
Yeah.
on. But did the tortoise hold up the parade at all?
Well, there were a couple of occasions. One, she detoured her walking through the middle of the street,
Yep.
and then security came to tell me, get the tortoise out of the way.
Oh, that's
And I said, okay, we're not going to fight for a tortoise.
That's hilarious.
And then he stopped, the Disney group stopped to have photos taken with them.
Oh, that's
The
something.
animal shelter people stopped to have photos with her. And then, of course, KLBP.
We were there.
Stop.
We did.
Yeah, you guys were there.
That was really great. I just think that Partners of Parks, first of all, there's a reason for this. It's a fundraiser.
Right.
Obviously, you vote, and for every dollar you vote, you get a number of votes. So, in other words, I donated $10, got 10 votes. But you do that online, partnersofpet.org. And then they do so many good things with all over, especially with the pet shelter. So it's all for a great cause, but everyone's embracing it. And the Saturday, the 30th, will be the award ceremony.
Yes.
Is it Recreation Park is where that's happening?
I believe so, yes.
And it's 11 to 1. KLVP will have a table there, so you can come out and see us again, because we're out there in support of Shelly. And I'll tell you, the only thing I haven't seen yet, but I would imagine it's coming next, is one of those plain flags running along the beach with "Vote for Shelly."
Right. Drag along.
That would be
there.
awesome.
And to tell you the truth, today I was looking for tiaras with a little veil
Perfect.
because whether she wins or not, she's wearing a tiara.
She's a winner, man.
Because she's the queen of Alamitos Beach in Long Beach, and we love to fundraise for the shelter. These are great activities for people who are retired, and some of us are retired. And
We sure are.
so we're having fun.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
the greatest thing about it is it's just so much fun for a good cause.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're putting our support behind Shelly because, like I said, Boomer didn't make it. However, if you'd like to vote, please go online, and Ashley Jones is going to love you because you have all of the right talking points, Maria. So this is wonderful. Saturday, May 30th, we're going to be out there, Recreation Park. Come and see, because there's going to be so many animals.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to contain the cats, but they'll figure it out. Yeah, because they're included too, right?
Yeah.
They're in the contest too.
I know. And, the link is Long Beach Favorite Pet. And they can see there everyone that is a finalist.
Yeah.
But you must vote for Shelly.
Noted.
Yes.
Noted.
Don't get sidetracked. There is no sidetrack. There is no, look at how cute this one
There
is.
is no sidetrack.
Shelly.
Vote for Shelly.
Shelly.
That's awesome. That's
Focus and vote for Shelly.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
all right.
Exactly.
all right, Maria, thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. And if Shelly wins, we'll let people know where the victory party is going to be.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh,
And
not a
Shelly
problem.
says
Tell Shelly we
thank
said
you.
hi.
The Boomer says hi. He's asleep on the floor because we interest him so much.
Yes.
Aw, hi,
But he
Boomer.
always comes in. Maria is where he gets his treats upstairs.
Ah.
So that's good. Yes.
He was a bit disappointed today because I didn't have the type that he liked. So he gave me a look and then he decided, okay, give me that cookie.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
It's like, I'll take that, but I
Yeah.
don't really want that. Yeah, no, it's so funny because he does have his moods,
Yeah.
as you well know.
Yeah.
The side eye. I've seen Boomer side eye.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you
bye.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye. See ya.
We got music now.
Yeah, they're back
I know.
for the 4,000th time.
Yeah, what happened?
And it's amazing that these guys still sound as good as they do too. This song rocks. It's the Rolling Stones and In the Stars. All right, that's the Rolling Stones, a song called In the Stars. And a side note to this, they are old. And, and
officially.
In a way, they have admitted that because the video that goes with this song, they have ran it through AI and taken 20 years, 20 or 30 years off their lives.
Right.
And they're singing this song as if it was 30 years ago.
That's awesome.
Whatever, man.
Check out the video. It's really a good video.
The Rolling Stones. Well, I'll tell you what, though. We should run our audio through AI. It'll probably make us sound older.
Yeah. Or more grown up, at least.
And there's all this thought. There's so many people that are really getting into it. They're loving making AI stuff, but at the same time, the power and the water that we use.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a
It's
future
a
show.
problem.
I want to get some people in
I've
here to talk
gotten
about
into
it.
using it to organize all these different projects because I've got this real ADHD mind, so I have lots of great ideas and a variety of things in any given hour. So I just run. I have all these different threads.
I understand. Me too.
I run in and it helps me get organized. But every single time I sit down and work with it, I feel that
You're using the resources.
It's bad.
I use it to sort of keep tabs on things like politicians. Give me Tom Steyer's record on oil companies.
Oh, interesting.
And boy, I didn't realize that he took zero amount of money from oil companies. Zero.
Oh.
And paid for his whole campaign himself. And then, of course, there's that rumor that he's invested in prison for profit. So I Googled that, AI'd that in ChatGPT. And guess what? He divested in 2012 from all of it. So, because he knew it was
interesting.
wrong. He actually, there was a position paper he made that said, I know this is not right, so I'm getting out of it.
Right.
So anyway, look up your candidates. If you don't know, and I'll tell you what.
That's a great use of it because it's so much information.
And then
you
judges. If you don't know, because whoever votes for the judges.
Right.
But some of them bear looking into. Just look up their records.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, it shifts my ideas.
It's such an interesting tool, and I'm having I'm leaving classroom teaching and going into privatized teaching, and the vocabulary and the organization, everything is, for one thing, because I'm not old.
In comparison to what else is sitting in the room.
To certain things. Yeah, right. In this room, I'm not old. But the stuff is pretty much the same, but the vocabulary has changed. So you can, if you're talking to somebody, you cue yourself by using old vocabulary. So I've used it to say, give me all the current vocabulary in regard to this context and blah, 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 so then I can use my talking points and sound current.
But like any tool, you got to be really careful. And I'll give you a quick example, and I can't remember the exact situation, but I was using it to do something about Andy and Renee, who were one of our guests last week. And I put your name, Danny Lemos, into it, and it came back with, Andy and Renee worked a lot of time with Danny Lemos, has worked over the years, and I knew that wasn't true.
Yeah, no.
So you got to be careful about what you feed it, because it'll feed out stuff that is complete crap.
No, thank God it didn't bring up.
Yeah, I have. You do have to read through it and all the letters it produces for you and all.
Yeah, be careful.
You still got to use your brain, folks.
But we did a little hope in this show, and we're going to close with a big piece of it. Mike brought something to our attention. It's somebody's birthday.
Yeah, this is a long piece, but I thought it was well worth it, and so I submitted it to Danny. He agreed. Bruce Springsteen closes his show, this tour, with a Bob Dylan tune called Chimes of Freedom. If you know the song, you know what it's about. But he's closing every show with it, along with a monologue that goes along with it. So we've pulled that song from the Minneapolis show, which was the first on the tour, and it's just a great, uplifting, inspiring thing in these times of despair.
I agree, and we'll leave you with that.
We'll take everything we can get.